Hi, I'm Elaine Halligan from the Parent Practice, and I'm going to share with you today how important it is to really know your child's temperament. Do you understand your child's makeup? The hardest thing about parenting a child is understanding their temperament, and I have to confess, it took us 7 years to really understand our son. I often ask parents, do you have a dandelion child who can take root anywhere, copes and is resilient? Or do you have an orchid child who's more fragile and needs a special greenhouse care? Any parent, and certainly anyone with more than one child, will attest to the fact that children are very unique and they're all very different. Some are incredibly cautious from birth, maybe nervous about going to a birthday party, whilst others will happily leap forward and join in with the games in a new environment. Some children feel things very intensely, and when you offer the red cup to drink from rather than the blue cup, it's akin to a mini volcanic explosion. Whilst others are very happy to have the Thomas the Tank Plate if Winnie the Pooh is in the dishwasher. Some children just give up easily when the going gets tough. I wonder if any of you recognise that in your children. Just a lack of resilience and persistence. And perhaps when the jigsaw puzzle doesn't go their way, they upend it with the exclamation, "I can't do it!" Whilst other children will stick with it till they have mastered that task. Some children see the positive side of everything, whilst others persist in seeing their cup as half empty. So the big question parents want to know is it nature or is it nurture? What I can tell you is we can't choose our children's temperament, but how we respond in the moment really makes a difference to how they feel and how they behave. It's critical that you see your child's temperament in a positive way. It's almost like looking at an X-ray and seeing inside, so you can start to really understand what is going on. So what are the key characteristic traits to understand? And do you recognise them in your children? So the first one, let's look at intensity. How energetic, how enthusiastic they are. Parents of intense children will want to provide lots of opportunity for exercise and adequate sleep. So what about persistence? Do they stick with things with determination and commitment rather than stubbornness? And persistent children can be independent and capable and really view this as a really good thing. It'll be important to be consistent with family rules. And this may involve being clear in the first place about what your values are. Do discuss this between parents and have a family meeting perhaps to draw up rules. And when your child doesn't want to do what's required, his feelings will need to be acknowledged. And this will help him let go of the issue. Is your child sensitive? And if your child is overly sensitive, he may be very empathetic, but also very prone to hurt. He may be creative, but may dislike loud noises, bright lights, crowds, be overwhelmed by too much choice, too much clutter. Watch out if he dislikes being touched and even finds his clothes really scratchy and irritating. It's important to protect this child from overstimulation and do restrict electronics. And what about perceptiveness? Do you have a child who notices everything, has great observational skills, may be very creative? But also they may get distracted very easily, and it may be very hard for him or her to focus and hear instructions. So you'll need to encourage them to listen by giving lots of descriptive praise, and a really good top tip is get them to repeat back your instructions and don't give too many at once. What about adaptability? This child likes to be organised, needs to know what's happening and may find change very difficult, including transitioning from one task to another. They need help to be flexible. And it's really important that we as parents let these children know what's happening ahead of time and allow time for him to get used to things. 5-minute warnings, very helpful, but not in any threatening way. What about how regular your child is? This child may be flexible, spontaneous, enjoy surprises, rather than focusing on the inconsistencies which temperament can throw up. They may need help getting used to routine, and they may need a high degree of consistency, and this may be really challenging if we as parents are a little irregular. This child will make a great ER doctor, DJ, pilot, police officer, or other professionals who work crazy hours. Do you have a child full of energy? Maybe a great sports person and they work really hard, but boy, it can wear you out living with them. So it's important to plan accordingly to accommodate those high levels of energy. So do allow lots of opportunities to let off steam after being confined too long. What about his mood? The analytical, serious child may see the negatives of situations and they may need your help and encouragement to see the positives. Do celebrate with them their successes by using descriptive praise and talking about the good in many things. And if you're keeping your golden book going, where you can record your good behaviours and successes and things to be grateful for, that will also help enormously. What about extraversion? The extrovert is energized by other people. And this child thrives in situations where there's lots of interaction, lots of activity, lots of stimulation, usually very social and gregarious, and they're able to talk to lots of new people. They will be comfortable in groups, quick to approach strangers, and maybe enjoy working in busy, stimulating environments. But conversely, they can feel quite lonely, bored and drained if they have to spend a lot of time alone. They may act before thinking, not listen to others, and they may flare up quickly. Whereas introverts, on the other hand, can become drained by too much interaction. They draw their energy from the inner world of their thoughts, emotions, and ideas. It's complex, isn't it? Get to know your child's temperament by observing them closely and consider what activities they like. And the better you know your child, the better you'll be able to draw out the best in him or her and be less frustrated. So keep developing those parenting practices. And if you're doing one of our courses, either online in the Positive Parenting Academy or face-to-face, take a look at Module 9, where we look in much more detail at how to stay calm and how to understand how temperament impacts on behaviour. Hope you found this useful, and if you'd like other great ideas and videos for bringing out the best in your children, take a look at theparentpractice.com.